on behalf of the full-service banks in your community.
The pride of Pittsburgh, magnificent Three Rivers Stadium, home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who today are hosting the Minnesota Vikings in a game that each team thinks it must win. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jack Drees. With me is George Connor. Minnesota Vikings, 4 in a row now. Figure they are rolling if it's not too late, but there is one little evidence of concern, George. Even though they won the game, the defense giving up 41 points to Los Angeles.
They certainly did, but Bud Grant said you have to play the hand that you're dealt. They came from behind. Parkington threw for 4, and they got their offense going. The defense will have a tough time against Pittsburgh today. They have a great running game, averaging 188 yards on the ground per game. They've got 2 great runners, and Franco Harris, averaging 6.3 yards per carry. He's a rookie from Penn State, and John Fuqua, another great runner.
And we'll be ready for the start of today's game in just a moment.
Ella Fitzgerald. She's attempting to shatter a glass with her amplified voice. She did it. You are now hearing the Memorex cassette tape recording we just made of Ella. Now you'll see a glass shatter again. But is it Ella or is it Memorex?
I'll never tell.
Buy 2 90-minute cassettes, get 1 free at participating dealers.
Tijuana Small, get on board, get on board. Ride that aromatic aeroplane. The taste of freedom calls. Tijuana Smalls.
You don't have to be a big gun to smoke them. Tijuana Smalls Aromatic, the taste of freedom. And you don't have to inhale them to like them.
The taste of freedom calls.
Leaving your lights on for over 3 hours in freezing cold, that's murder. But that's what we did with these cars. Let's see if any of them can start. One can. The one with the Sears Die Hard. The Die Hard, extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Sold only at Sears.
Now the introduction of the players has been concluded. The band is formed on the field. This is the Ambridge High School band for the national anthem. We'll have the reenactment of the toss of the coin as the co-captains from either team head out on the field. The toss was won by the Minnesota Vikings, so they will get their first crack at putting the ball on offense. Toss officially completed a half hour before kickoff. Minnesota Vikings will be starting Ed Marinaro, their fine rookie from Cornell, and Oscar Reed at running backs, a pair that does not shape up as strongly in the attack department on the ground as does the awesome duo of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But now our national anthem. We're mentioning the matchup of running attacks. Marinaro and Reed not as strong in the physical running department as are Franco Harris and John Fuqua, but they do have speed to the outside. The balance swings in the other direction when you compare Terry Bradshaw with the veteran Fran Tarkenton. Terry Bradshaw coming on fast. Both these quarterbacks have the ability, which is often displayed, to do some running. And the first test, of course, will be the Minnesota offense against the Pittsburgh defense.
Jack, I would like to point out that this is tartan turf they're playing on, and Pittsburgh has not lost a game here this year. They're 5-0 at home. And I think a home field advantage is really something here today in this big game.
There, the deep man, John Gilliam, is number 42. And with him down there, number 40, is Charlie West. Kickoff by Roy Girella. He's teeing up the ball at the 40-yard line. There he is, truly, as Bruce Roberts and Jim Finks were saying, a Super Bowl air in this stadium today. For this is a critical contest. A loss for the Minnesota Vikings would pretty much put them out of it. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, tied with the Cleveland Browns for the top spot in the AFC Central Division, are likewise trying to husband their losses and come through with what would be a first ever for these Pittsburgh Steelers, a divisional championship. We have a swirling wind of some strength, and twice now it has blown the ball off the kicking tee.
Jack, the wind blowing the ball off the tee, it could be a factor in this game if either team has to resort to a lot of passing.
Now let's see if the ball will stay up long enough for Girella to kick it. He does. Gilliam about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Here he comes out to the 10, the 15, still on his feet at the 20 and breaks loose. Out to the 40, one man, Girella, the kicker, bounces him out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and John Gilliam has given him great field position.
There was a missed tackle there. Larry Brown, number 87. You'll see it coming up. It's a good move by Gilliam. There's the missed tackle right there. Gilliam with good speed. It's a fine return back to the 45-yard line.
Ball at the 45, first and 10 for Minnesota. Ed Marinaro, Oscar Reed, the running backs. And the ball is given to Oscar Reed. He is dropped by L.C. Greenwood, the left end, number 68. That was Jack Ham, the left side linebacker, who popped through there and forced him into a sudden change of direction and took away some of his speed. So it's a yard pickup. It's at the 46. It'll be second down and 9. That's Jack Ham, number 59 on defense for Pittsburgh. He'll be a young man to watch today. He's just in his second year, but he's been drawing rave notices as a linebacker. Has 5 interceptions. Oscar Reed tries it again straight ahead. And again, that fine defensive front four of the Steelers clogs up their path. Ben McGee, number 60, was the principal tackler, the right tackle.
Last week, the Steelers defense was hurt. Andy Russell, the right linebacker, number 34, there you see him. He's an 8-year veteran from Missouri. He was forced out of the Cleveland game and hurt the Pittsburgh defense. He's operating on a bad ankle, but he says he's all right at game time.
Gene Washington goes out wide to the left. Gene Washington also operating on a bad foot. Gilliam is the wide receiver to the right, and Tarkenton's going to the air. 3rd and 8. There's the throw to Gilliam. Complete. Nope. Incomplete. As he was hit by Mike Wagner and started down, he lost track of the football and it bobbled out of his grasp. He did not have it long enough to be ruled a completed pass. And the Minnesota Vikings have been held on downs by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the opening foray. So it's 4th down now. Line of scrimmage, their own 47. Deep men heading back are Glenn Edwards, and Glenn Edwards back there all alone. Mike Eyeshide to do the punting for Minnesota. Low pass from center. Eyeshide gets it away. Edwards makes the catch on the 17-yard line. Is caught and thrown down at the 18. So it's a return of 1 yard, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh at that point. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Oh, it's the first crack at it now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There is no score in the game. They have it 1st and 10 at their 18-yard line. Franco Harris, John Fuqua, the running backs. Fuqua 32, or Fuqua 33, Harris 32. And here is big Franco Harris powering into the line, veering to the left, getting up to around the 22-yard line before Jim Marshall, number 70, the right end for the Vikings, brings him down. Ball spotted at the 21.
Franco Harris, a rookie from Penn State, has 4 games in a row over 100 yards and 5 out of his last 6 games. He's a strong runner.
Second down, about 7 yards to go. Terry Bradshaw, quarterback. Fuqua drops the ball, and the Minnesota Vikings have got it. Fumble recovery by Carl Eller, number 81.
Here it is again. He didn't get the ball. He doesn't have control of it. There you see it slip away from Fuqua. There's Carl Eller, 81. Gets down to the bottom of that pile and makes the recovery for the Minnesota Vikings.
So the Minnesota Vikings get the first big break of the game. A costly turnover by the Pittsburgh Steelers has given Minnesota the ball just 20 yards away. Ed Marinaro in motion. Tarkenton throws to Marinaro. Cutting back against the grain, getting a block on the corner man from Grady Alderman, but it wasn't enough. Dwight White, the right end, number 78 for the Steelers, was there to haul him down after a short gain. They'll spot it at the 17-yard line, a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. No score in the game. Minnesota won the toss, took the kickoff, failed to make a first down, punted to the Steelers, and on the second play, they fumbled it to the Vikings on the 20, and Minnesota now has it 2nd and 7 on the 17. Gilliam wide to the right. John Henderson is in at wide receiver now, and he's split out wide to the left. I formation in the backfield. Tarkenton rolling right, hurried, and cannot make the connection to Oscar Reed. Jack Ham, that linebacker we were talking about, was in there putting the pressure on Fran Tarkenton and took something off the pass.
Well, that was a good play by Ham and the defensive lineman. They didn't go for the play-action fake, knowing that Tarkenton likes to roll out. They continued through to the passer and made him throw a little bit quicker than he wanted to. He had his man wide open.
They're down 7 yards to go. Minnesota on the Pittsburgh 17. Tarkenton straight back this time. There's his peg. Incomplete, intended for Marinaro. Batted aside by Mean Joe Green. Their big 6'4" left tackle, number 75. There is the magnificent Allegheny Club, one of the social centers of this stadium, for those who like to watch their football in comforted style. Now a field goal attempt by Fred Cox from 24 yards away. He's got it in there, and Minnesota has drawn first blood. The Vikings are in the lead 3-0 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we'll be back with Minnesota's kickoff in just a moment.
You parents ought to know something. Football's not just for us fathers anymore.
That's right. Now the whole family's enjoying NFL action player stamps from Sunoco. Great to collect and trade. You get 9 stamps free every time you stop at a participating Sunoco station. While you're there, buy a Stamp Saver album. Regular edition, 89 cents. Deluxe, $2.49. Get NFL action player stamps free at Sunoco.
Us kids love them.
I'm Jim Mooney, and this is my wife, Joyce. We live in Bangor, Maine, where it gets awful cold. Joyce is a waitress. Sometimes she works late, and when she gets to her car, I want to be sure it starts. So we use dry Sunoco gasoline. Sunoco, especially in very cold weather, makes a big difference as far as starting the car and the whole operation of it.
Fill up with dry Sunoco gasoline.
All winter long, your car starts like it's summertime. Dry Sunoco gasoline.
Now Minnesota to kick off. Fred Cox has the ball up on the 40. Number 35 is Steve Davis. Number 26 is Preston Pearson. They are the deep men for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Fred Cox gives the ball a low squibbing kick that's moving over near the sidelines, makes it out of bounds. Minnesota will have to kick off again, accepting a 5-yard penalty. Here's a first period score. The New York Giants have jumped in front of the Eagles 7-0. Ball coming back now, and Fred Cox will have to kick it off from the 35-yard line. With the wind swirling around down there and blowing the ball off the kicking tee twice for Roy Girello when he was attempting the opening kickoff, I would suspect that the wind might have caught that ball just as Cox was riding into it, because it was a very poor kick off to the side. It may have been blown out just as he was about ready to tee it up.
Well, although Cox likes to squib those kicks and get them rolling, and this prevents a long return.
Steve Davis, 35, Preston Pearson, 26, the deep men for the Steelers. Moving up a little now with a 5-yard penalty. He wraps another low one that's taken by one of the up men. And he brings it out to around the 48-yard line. It was Rocky Blyer who was up on the blocking screen, who gathered in that line drive shot and takes it to the 48.
Here's another short kick. Watch Rocky Blyer from Notre Dame there. Grab it. He's a spark plug. Vietnam War veteran. Makes a good return almost to midfield.
Now Pittsburgh has an opportunity. They're practically at the 50-yard line, and Terry Bradshaw goes to the air right now. His attempt to hit Frank Lewis went off his fingertips out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10. First period score, Buffalo leading Cleveland 7-0. Remember, Pittsburgh and Cleveland are tied for the AFC Central Division leadership. Each has won 7, lost 3. Frank Lewis coming out wide to the left once again. Ron Shanklin, the leading pass receiver, is the wide receiver to the right. 2nd down and 10. Bradshaw goes for Shanklin, and did he get it? No, he had stepped out of bounds as he caught the ball, and it is incomplete. Charlie West was the cornerback covering on the play for Minnesota. 3rd and 10 at the 48-yard line. Neither team has yet recorded a first down.
Terry Bradshaw throwing those 2 quick short sideline passes. It shows that he respects the deep zone of this Minnesota defense. You can see how deep the cornerbacks are playing in Minnesota.
He's got to go fairly deep on this one. It's 3rd and 10. He sends it down the middle, and it winds up incomplete. Jeff Seaman almost got it after it was blocked by Charlie West.
From the end zone, watch Bradshaw look to his left, come back to the right. He almost just barely gets this pass off. There's Eller in there. Good pass coverage there. And watch number 50, Jeff Seaman, almost get the ball, but Shanklin runs into him.
Now in punt formation with Charlie West, the deep man. He's going to take it on the 12. Gets to the 15, runs into trouble along the 20, and is dumped out of bounds by Glenn Edwards. Number 27 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It'll be 1st and 10, the area of the 20-yard line for Minnesota. The score is 3-0. The Vikings are out in front. With the score, Minnesota 3 and Pittsburgh nothing. Let's pause for a moment.
The solid 73 Ford Torino. Can it ride over this course of 2x4 smoothly enough to keep a tightrope walker balanced on top? High wire specialist Bill Couch is about to find out on a tightrope rigged to Torino's body. He's counting on Torino's suspension to soak up the bumps and keep them safely on that wire. Bill signals, and they're off. Those wheels are taking quite a pounding, but Bill isn't, as Torino's remarkable suspension does its job. The 1973 Ford Torino,
The solid midsize that gives you confidence on the road. Incredibly smooth riding. Stable, strong, and quiet. Because it's a Ford. The new 1973 Ford Torino at your Ford dealers now. Ford Torino, the solid midsize.
Jack Drees with George Connor as Minnesota takes the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Tarkinen has completed 1 pass out of 4 attempts. Neither team has a first down. Minnesota has the lead 3-0. This is Marinaro, who's popping through a hole in the line to get it out over the 25, where linebacker Jack Ham brought him down. It'll be spotted at the 26-yard line. Veteran Andy Russell, the right side linebacker, also pinching in on the stop for the Steelers.
Jack, that was a good call from Tarkington. It could have been an audible at the line of scrimmage because the Pittsburgh defense was overshifted to the left, the offensive right, and he picked the right hole there.
So it is now 2nd down and 4 yards to go. They've got the ball at the 26-yard line. John Henderson, wide receiver to the right. Apparently that foot is bothering Gene Washington once again. He started. Penalty flags go down. Looked like Milt Sunday was a little early on his charge for Minnesota. Andy Russell, defensive captain, linebacker, number 34, discussing the options with referee Fred Swearingen. And the option he takes is to accept the penalty. We'll put the ball back at the 21-yard line. It'll still be 2nd down, but it'll be 2nd down now with 9 yards to go. Illegal motion charged against the Minnesota Vikings. Second and long yardage. Anderson wide to the right. Williams come over to the right side as well, and now they send Oscar Reed in motion to the right. Everybody's over there. The throw is to Reed on the line of scrimmage. Picked up about a yard on the play. Mike Wagner, the safety man, was right there. Pass completed at the 21. He was grounded at the 22. It's 3rd and 8. First period, Denver has taken a 7-0 lead over Atlanta.
Jack, that was a safety valve pass. The deep men were covered very, very well, and Fran just got rid of it in time.
3rd and long. Tarkinen back, has time, throws out here to Marinaro. He's at the 26. The ball is fumbled, picked up downfield by Gilliam, and he makes it across the 50. Minnesota has the ball on the Pittsburgh 46.
Now look at that again. Watch Tarkington roll to his left. Throw back to his right. There it is to Marinaro. Watch him get hit here. He gets hit hard, and that ball rolls upfield, but Gilliam, very alert, rolled right into his hands, picked it up, made a nice gain out of it.
So it'll be 1st down for the Minnesota Vikings. They've got it now 47 yards away. Tarkinen looking long, in trouble, finally has to unload the ball to Marinaro. He was hunting for John Henderson deep. Ben McGee, the right tackle, number 60, was in there hurrying the effort of Tarkington, and he hit Marinaro for another 1st down that puts the ball at the Pittsburgh 34-yard line. These are the first downs recorded in the game, and we've had 2 of them in a row. First period score, the Giants have jumped out in front of Philadelphia now by a 14-0 margin. Here the score is 3-0, and the Vikings are in front. Little less than 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Tarkinen back again, plenty of time. Downfield receivers covered. Is flipped out to Marinaro, goes through his hands, incomplete. Be 2nd and 10 at the 34. Now Dave Osborne is trotting onto the field. He'll replace Marinaro in the backfield for the Minnesota Vikings. There he is on the left of your screen for a moment, 41.
It appears that the Minnesota Vikings and Fran Tarkington have decided they can't run against this Pittsburgh defense, and they're just come out throwing.
Tarkington is 4 for 8 at the moment. Gilliam goes out wide to the right. John Henderson wide to the left. Osborne is the deep back in the eye. Ball goes to Oscar Reed. He spins loose from an attempted tackle behind the line and picks up the gain that takes the ball down to around the 28. There it was Andy Russell making the grab.
Watch the right guard pull. Milt Sunday ran right in behind him, although it didn't fool Mean Joe Green, number 75. The back was just too quick for him.
So it was a 6-yard pickup. It's 3rd down and 4 yards to go now for the Vikings. William wide right, Henderson wide left. Running backs are split out. That's Osborne in motion to the left. And Tarkington looking to throw. He needs 4. He flips one out to Oscar Reed, who's got the first down and is out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Pretty tough play to cover, Jack. Jack Ham, 59, the left linebacker, has to respect the running ability of Fran Tarkington. He comes up, he throws it. If he lays back, Tarkington runs. He needs help from the defensive secondary.
Minnesota now with their 3rd first down. They've picked up all the first downs by either team in this game on this drive, which began back at the 20-yard line. Wide receivers spread out to either side. 1st and 10, 17-yard line. Osborne in motion. And on a delay, it's Oscar Reed. He kicks that ball down to around the 12, 13-yard line, where Jack Ham was in there once again to make the stopper for the Pittsburgh Steelers. First period. Buffalo now setting the scene for a great upset, 10-0.
Yes, they are. They just scored on a 13-yard run by O.J. Simpson, who's having a great year for Buffalo.
2nd down and 5. Boy, the winter wear is much in evidence in the crowd here at Three Rivers Stadium. It's a chilly day, not really cold, but kind of a dampness in the air that gets to you after a while. Osborne looking for somewhere to go, finds a little bit of running room, is able to get inside the 10 down to around the 8-yard line. A little bit short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and about 1. And the banners are much in evidence, and the Vikings hiking. A poet in the crowd. 3-0 Minnesota. They've been hiking pretty good on this drive. Started back on their own 20-yard line. They've got it 3rd and 1 now. At the 8-yard line. Oscar Reed hangs into that line. That'll be right around a first down. John Rouser coming up quickly from his cornerback position and sliding in on the play, was the principal stopper on it. Digging out the pile, and they are going to request a measurement on this one. Chains are being brought in. We've got a good look at it. And there it is, about a foot to go. Oh, it's 4th down, about a foot. They look over to the sideline to see what Bud Grant wants to do, and it looks like they're going to go. Bill Brown is coming in to replace Oscar Reed. Now they're toughening up the forward line. Ernie Holmes, a tackle. Craig Hanneman, an end. Jack Ham and Andy Russell, linebackers, are coming out.
Bill Brown's got good size. He's a good blocker. He can be used as a blocker, or he gets that extra yardage. He usually goes over the top. There he is, number 30. 34-year-old Bill Brown.
Leading 3-0. They're going to take their shot. Brown bangs into the line. Is caught along the line and thrown back. They were ready for Mr. Brown.
Watch that Steeler defense come in at that offensive line. There's Bill Brown. Boom, he's really hit there. They're going to measure for it.
the Steelers have stopped it. Pittsburgh stops a 4th down, 1-foot try by the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this wasn't all that big a gamble for Minnesota because by giving up the ball there, they are in the same breath putting the Steelers in very poor field position. And with the score, Minnesota 3 and Pittsburgh nothing, let's pause for a moment.
My name is Betty Sims. You know, it's funny, most people run from winter. It's not always fun driving in the winter, but it's something I have to do. I sell ski fashions in the Rocky Mountain states, and I have to travel throughout Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and New Mexico, all alone, except with my dog, Tracy. She's pretty good company, and I have to travel a lot of times when there's great powder on the slopes, but that means plenty of snow on the road. I've been in plenty of situations where I've had to stop, and also when I've had to get going. A girl can't always just get out and push. Firestone found out about how much driving I do in the winter, and put 4 town and countries on for me to test.
The Firestone all-position town and country, with 3 separate tread sections and room for 112 ice-gripping studs. They're designed for the front wheels, too, and available for most imported cars. At your Firestone dealer or store, the people tire for winter.
They say almost nothing will stop them, and you know they're right.
I mentioned that in failing the 4th down try, they gave the Steelers bad field position, but you must remember they've got the runners to improve it in Fuqua and Franco Harris. Franco Harris gets the call. He's got running room to the outside, and he has that ball up to a point just short of the 15-yard line where Alan Page ushered him out of bounds.
Franco Harris, 6'2", 230. Watch the power this man has. To see Alan Page, 88, come over there. Good block. Gets by the linebacker, and watch him carry Alan Page. And not many backs in the National Football League can do that, Jack.
Now the ball is at the 13-yard line. 2nd down and about 4 yards to go with a 6-yard pickup on that one. Barry Bradshaw looking over that defense, gives it this time to Fuqua, and Fuqua punching into the line is able to get that one out to pretty close to a 1st down. Jeff Seaman, the fine rookie middle linebacker, coming in to make the stop for Minnesota. And they're going to have to measure to see whether or not this was made. 1st quarter, the Packers have moved in front of Washington 3-0.
They did it on a field goal by Chester Markall, and that field goal was 52 yards.
Pittsburgh has a 1st down. First and 10 for the Steelers at the 18-yard line. Ball not quite at the 18, but in the statistical records of the game, it is credited with being at the 18. When it passes 1-yard line, it is immediately put down for purposes of figuring yardage at the next one. Fuqua again, and he pops into the line, gets over it, and beyond the 20, Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker, making the stop. A light rain is beginning to fall here in Pittsburgh. They've got the ball now at the 20-yard line, a pickup of 2. Be 2nd down and 8 for the Steelers. The score is 3-0. The Vikings out in front. Took a 4th down gamble on the 7-yard line when they had a foot to go, and the Steelers held. Now they've got the ball at the 20, 2nd and 8. Bradshaw back to throw. He lofts one out to Franco Harris. Harris is at the 20, cutting back, bouncing off tacklers, finally bounced out of bounds near the 25. Paul Krause and Bob Bryant combining to get him out of bounds for Minnesota.
It was pass all the way. Watch the rush that Bradshaw gets. He just arches that ball up there. Great catch here by Franco Harris, the rookie from Penn State. He has good mobility, and he's really strong. Great power running straight ahead.
Not enough for a 1st down. They've got 3 yards more to achieve that. 3rd down and 3. Franco Harris trying for it, but he's clogged up along the line. Jeff Seaman was in there fighting off a blocker. Clogged up the play. Short of a first down. Pittsburgh will have to kick it.
From the end zone, watch Gary Larson, number 77. He gets in there, trips up the interference.
Now Bob Walton is back in punt formation. Charlie West is going back. And low but distant punt will give him an opportunity to run it back. He's back to the 20 and he's caught short of the 25. Snowed under as he gets to the 24-yard line. A flag is down. I believe it will be a clipping call against the Vikings. Preliminary signal, clipping against Minnesota. It was inside the 30, so it'll be half the distance to the goal line. Carl Gersbach was guilty of the clipping, and it'll put the ball back at the 11.5-yard line. So we'll call it the 12, and it'll be first down for Minnesota, and now they're starting deep in their own territory. They have a score on the board, a field goal by Fred Cox, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Vikings. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Brown and Dave Osborne are the running backs, and it's Brown. He bangs into the line, is hit by Ernie Holmes, the big tackle. Bill Brown, I should say, not Bob Brown. But his forward progress is stopped at the 17-yard line. So it's a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 17. Ernie Holmes has come in to replace Ben McGee at right tackle in the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. 2nd and 5. Gets to Bill Brown again. He is slowed initially by Henry Davis. The ball is loose.
Backed up to the line of scrimmage. There goes the ball. Kicked away. There's number 49. Ralph Anderson recovers for the Steelers.
Now the Steelers get a break in the game. They've got the ball on the 12-yard line. They are trailing 3-0. Little less than 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Franco Harris gets the call. Good block in front of him, and he's in the end zone. That was Bruce Van Dyke, number 66. Who plowed the corner man and opened the way. Franco Harris has scored from 12 yards out, and the Steelers lead.
In slow motion from the end zone. Watch Franco Harris. There's Bruce Van Dyke. What a block he put on Charlie West, and he goes in standing up.
Now Roy Girella on the try for point. That kick is good, and the Steelers have taken the lead with a little better than a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. Well, while we have a moment, Gunsmoke has a real thriller for you tomorrow night. The story of a man who sets out to avenge the murder of his brother, and when his trail leads to Dodge City and the Kitty, the danger signals go up, and Kitty can send up a pretty good danger signal. Comes a matter for Matt Dillon, so don't miss the excitement on Gunsmoke tomorrow night at 8/7 Central Time. Now Pittsburgh 7-3 in the lead over the Minnesota Vikings. 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter of the game. And the deep men for Minnesota. John Gilliam is number 42. Charlie West is number 40 nearest us. Roy Girella. Ball teed up at the 40, ready to kick it off. Team of crucial importance to each of these teams. Gilliam takes this one 2 yards deep. Out to the 10, 15. Picks up a block, gets to the 25, and that is all she wrote. And Ralph Anderson, who recovered the fumble that gave Pittsburgh the stage setting for their touchdown, made the tackle. Ball at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Fran Tarkenton was a long time in the huddle. Now he's broken it. Here they come. Bill Brown, Dave Osborne still set in there at running backs. Oscar Reed and Ed Marinaro started. Both have been relieved. And too much time. That long strategy session in the huddle didn't leave enough time to make any kind of a count. And 5 yards is marked off for delay of game.
The Steelers are throwing an unbalanced defense. They're over-shifting to their defensive left. And they have Mean Joe Green right on the head of the center. Mick Tinkelhoff. They have their linebacker on the weak side to the outside. And they're just playing strength against strength.
Now it's 1st down and 15 yards to go. The ball is back at the 21. Bill Brown takes the handoff. His power thrust into the line, can't make much. Caught and thrown back. Got up as far as perhaps the 24.
Watch Mike Wagner, number 23, come up from the safety position. There's your linebacker, 53, Henry Davis, assisted by Mike Wagner. And I'll tell you, Jack, they're really hitting on defense. When you can drive Bill Brown flat on his back, going the other direction, that's defense.
The total pickup was 3 yards, so it's 2nd down and 12 yards to go for Minnesota. Now Osborne caught behind the line. Joe Green was in there and really blew that play out.
Watch Joe Green to the corner of your screen on the right side. There you see him. He fights off the block of Ed White and makes a terrific tackle.
And that's the end of the 1st quarter with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota 3.
This is the newest copier in the IBM line. As you can see, this plain paper copier lets you feed in originals continuously. And it doesn't keep you waiting around for your copies to appear either. At IBM, we think one of the most important things about a copier is how fast it actually lets you make copies. The new Copier 2 from IBM.
A crop duster's gotta be tough. His equipment's gotta be tough, too. Tom Ormsby uses AC spark plugs. AC's new super ceramic insulator is built tough, tested tough, to keep you going when the going's tough. For quick starts and a smooth-running engine, get AC Fire Ring spark plugs. Original equipment on GM cars.
AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
I'm Ron Johnson of the New York Giants. My job is running the football, and this man here, Jim Thorpe, was a first-grade star of pro football when he played for the Canton Bulldogs more than 50 years ago. There's been a lot of good running backs since Jim Thorpe, and his statue is just the beginning when you visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. There's something for everyone. Why don't you stop in and see? It's open daily throughout the year.
Now we go into the 2nd quarter. The middle linebacker, Henry Davis, has been taken out, and a 5th defensive back, Glenn Edwards, has been put in on a 3rd down, 12 yards to go situation. And long down the middle, John Henderson can't get to it. Penalty flag is down, and it might be an interference call in another area of the field against John Gilliam. John Rouser, the cornerback, was entangled with Gilliam, and it looks like Pittsburgh is going to be nailed with a pass interference call. Not the passing target, but another receiver. And it'll give Minnesota a 1st down on the Pittsburgh 45. Tarkinen has completed 5 out of 9. The score is 7-3 in favor of Pittsburgh over Minnesota. First down on the 45. Dave Osborne, deep reverse on the end around. Gilliam, the wide receiver, going back to the right, and he can never make it back to the line of scrimmage. The play lost a yard. John Rouser making the tackle.
Watch this reverse. Hand off to Osborne. There comes Gilliam. Watch Fran Tarkington try to block Mean Joe Green. Right there, number 75. No contest. And here comes John Rouser up to make the tackle. I don't think Fran will try that again.
Oh, it lost a yard. And it's second down and 11 for the Minnesota Vikings. Henderson coming out wide to the left. Gilliam wide to the right. Osborne trying a quick thrust is tripped up by Joe Green, who had gotten into the backfield. Fell forward across the line and gets it out to the 46-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 9.
He's playing head-to-head with Ed White, who is supposed to be the offensive guard for the Vikings. He's supposed to be one of the strongest men in the league. But I tell you, Joe Green has given him all he wants this afternoon.
Ed Marinaro has been brought back into the running backfield now for the Minnesota Vikings, coming in there, obviously, as yet another pass receiver replacing Osborne. Chased by Green. Penalty flag goes down. Looks like it'll be a holding call against Minnesota. His throw to Brown. Not good. Another penalty flag goes down. And it is holding against the Minnesota Vikings. May have been an ineligible receiver downfield on the other call. As L.C. Greenwood charging in, number 68 for Pittsburgh, putting the heat on, and we'll see which of the penalties are going to be in effect. Signs from referee Fred Swearens, and the ball is brought back to the 41.
Good choice, Jack, because they took the one that gave them gave Minnesota the down. They had to use the down up. It's 5 yards and the down counts, so now it's 4th down. The other way it would have been 15 yards and no loss of down.
4th down now, and heading back to receive the punt, Glenn Edwards. Mike Ishai dropping deep in the punt formation. The pass, going to have to run it, and kicks on the run. He loops a little ball that's taking a Minnesota roll and getting down to the 21-yard line. So the Minnesota Vikings with a gutty punt by Mike Ishai, who was in the throes of getting hit, and once he starts to run, he's fair game.
Here it is. Running to the outside, and he kicks it left-footed. Amazing, Jack.
So with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
This is a totally different kind of razor blade. It makes shaving easy. Now, I wouldn't dare do this with an ordinary blade, but Wilkinson has reinvented the razor blade, the bonded blade, bonded permanently at the precise shaving angle and exposure. But don't do it this way. Use the handle that comes with it. It's even easier. Safer, too. The Wilkinson Bonded Shaving System. It makes shaving easy.
Want a beer?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is really an interesting six-pack. See how it's completely covered? See the ends? Covered.
Mm-hmm.
That so light won't get in. Light can spoil beer.
Uh-huh.
And this is good beer, so they don't want light messing around with it.
Well, in that case, why don't we turn off the lights?
All right, the Steelers take the ball now. They got it first down, their own 21-yard line. Shift. Fuqua edging up a bit. Those are the two running backs for the Steelers. Straight back goes Terry Bradshaw. Has good protection. Going long. And the play is broken up by Jeff Wright when Bob Bryant was waiting to intercept. The target was Frank Lewis, and Bryant had it in his hands, he thought.
Good protection here. You're looking right. Looks the defense off. And Bobby Bryant is all set. Watch, to make that interception. Jeff Wright doesn't know he's behind him, and he knocks the ball down.
And, of course, in all fairness, they can't be looking around to see if someone is there to intercept. Well, it was a good play by Jeff Wright, but a bad break for Minnesota. Second quarter, Washington 7-3 over Green Bay.
They're taking the lead on a 2-yard run by Larry Brown.
Second down, 10 yards to go now for the Steelers. Bradshaw back, throws to the outside. Lewis has it. He is caught over there by Bob Bryant and hauled down as he gets that ball up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a little better than a yard short of a first down. 3rd and a yard. And the umbrellas are popping open now through the stands. Rain, maybe a little snow mixed with that, coming down now with fairly good intensity here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. 3rd down. Better than a yard to go. John Fuqua has the first down as he pops it out to the 32-yard line. Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker, making the stop.
Here it is. Watch the pulling guard there, number 57. Does a great job. That's Sam Davis, the left guard. Opens up the hole, led by Franco Harris.
A little less than 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. Pittsburgh leading 7-3. Rain is coming down. There are the stats on Bradshaw, 2 out of 6. And he tries to lead Franco Harris with one, but he let him a little too much. Alan Page was putting on the chase on Bradshaw. Pass incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 32.
And Carl Eller, the defensive left end, seeing pass all the way, dropped off the line and was running right with the intended receiver.
Another score, second quarter. The New York Giants bombing Philadelphia. It's now 24-3.
Yeah, Pete Gogolak just kicked a 25-yard field goal for New York.
Frank Lewis wide to the left. Ron Shanklin is wide to the right. John Fuqua with the handoff. Runs into trouble as he tries it off tackle. The hitter was Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker. Alan Page, number 88, a factor in breaking up the blocking. Well, the ball now is at the 35-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go for Terry Bradshaw. Come in. And Jan Kolb, the left tackle, looked like he may have been guilty of illegal procedure, and that's what the call is against Pittsburgh, coming off that 3-point stance. Fred Swearingen gives us the sign, and it'll be 3rd down now with a little better than 12 yards to go. Line of scrimmage is moved back to the 24-yard line. 7-3, Pittsburgh leading. Little less than 11 minutes to play in the second quarter. Shanklin out wide to the right. Lewis wide to the left. Bradshaw back in trouble and keeps his feet in time to try one to Franco Harris. The pass is incomplete. Carl Eller was number 81 coming in to lower the boom.
Good rush by Minnesota this time. Carl Eller coming in.
Bradshaw gets away from him, but tries to hit his back out in the flat. He's almost torn apart there, and it's incomplete pass.
Bobby Bryant and Charlie West have gone deep now as we move into punt formation with Bob Walden back to do the kicking for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Walden drives one down to Charlie West, who has to move back, giving ground to his 23, and penalty flag flies in as he is grounded around the 27-yard line. Sam Davis getting down to make the stop.
Jack, the up back, Bobby Bryant, signaled for a fair catch, and the receiver didn't see it, and I believe that'll be the call.
That's what it is. Yardage marked off back to the 22-yard line. The signal given is delay a game, which is assessed against the back for running with the football after a fair catch signal was given. Minnesota now at their own 22. And with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
Let's see, we have 12 inns in San Francisco. Which folks? Yes, sir.
Reservation.
Oh, and your valet service. Could they pick up a suit of
Welcome
mine?
to our annual
Great.
Western sales meeting. I have some figures here I'd like to show you.
We can accomplish tomorrow what we did today. We'll be in great shape.
Today, this Holiday Inn made 463 businessmen a little more efficient by making them a little more relaxed. So next time you travel on business, stay with Holiday Inn, the most accommodating people in the world.
Hello. I'm interrupting your TV picture with good news about color TV. Know what's in back of many TV repairs? Look, chassis tubes. Tubes get hot, weaken with age, and are a leading cause of TV repairs. So RCA takes every chassis tube out of XL100 color TVs. XL100s are 100% solid state, designed for longer life and vivid color. Give chassis tube problems the boot with XL100.
Jack Drees with George Connor at Pittsburgh as the Vikings take over, 1st and 10. Ball at their own 22-yard line. Tarkenton rolling out to the right. Now he has to look back, hunting for someone, anyone. Finds Gilliam, the ball off his hands, and incomplete. Mel Blunt was number 47 covering on the play. A rain is falling, and a chill is settling in the air. That ball is going to be a little more difficult to hold. 2nd and 10. We pause 5 seconds for station identification. And we have a look at one puddle forming in the rain. Coming down pretty hard now at Pittsburgh. Minnesota trailing 7-3 behind Pittsburgh. Has its 2nd and 10 at their own 22-yard line. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. And no luck at all on that one. Shot into the line, picked up by Joe Green and carried back. Second quarter, Washington is 7-3 over the Green Bay Packers.
Jack, and we have a report that Scott Hunter's been taken out of the game. No injury reported, but Taggy, the rookie quarterback from Nebraska, is in for Scott Hunter for Green Bay.
They're down to 9 now for the Minnesota Vikings. Starting backs are back in now, both Oscar Reed and Ed Marinaro. Back and in, the pressure on from Joe Green, throws on the run, throws complete to Beasley, his tight end. Beasley powers his way out to almost the 40-yard line, more than enough for a first down on a very big play. Jack Ham, the tackler.
Good rush here. There's Joe Green going to the outside. Great catch there. The defensive back was Ralph Anderson. Beasley out-muscling him for the first down.
1st and 10 now at the 39-yard line. Rolling right, getting away from Joe Green. He hopes. But Green still battling in there, and that pass is out of bounds. Jack Ham intercepting, but intercepting out of bounds. Incomplete.
There's Joe Green chasing out to the flat. That's staying away from him. Milt Sunday. And Jack Ham intercepted, but I believe his foot was out of bounds.
No, ruled simply an incomplete pass. It's second down and 10 at the 39-yard line. Pittsburgh 7, Minnesota 3 in this crucial game between each conference's Central Division contender. Up the middle he goes to his tight end, Beasley again. And Beasley, big and strong, is whirling Ralph Anderson around. They finally blown dead at the 44-yard line. Beasley logs in at 228 pounds. He's 6'3". Looks like forward progress is going to be ruled stopped right at the 45.
With the tremendous pass rush that the front four of Pittsburgh is putting on Fran Tarkington, I'm surprised, Jack, that he hasn't gone to the screen pass or the draw. He keeps rolling out and looking for the receivers.
Third down now with 4 yards to go. And he pegs one to Marinaro. Marinaro fighting for that first down, and he's got it. He crossed the 50 before he was dropped by Andy Russell, the right side linebacker. Now Minnesota has moved into Steeler territory. They have it 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 49. Gilliam coming out wide to the left. John Anderson wide to the right. Gene Washington started at wide receiver, but was taken out after a couple of plays in favor of John Henderson. Washington is troubled by a bruised foot. On the running shot to Oscar Reed. He's through the line quickly and takes that ball to the 41-yard line before Ralph Anderson, the safety man, brought him down.
Good blocking up front. Watch Tingelhoff go through for the middle linebacker, Davis. And Oscar Reed just kind of slithered through there, found the hole, and made good yardage, about 8 yards.
Second down now with a shade better than 2 yards to go for the Vikings. And Reed gets the call again. He powers through for a first down, and Fran Tarkington has found a path through that tough Pittsburgh defensive wall.
There you see a good block by White there. He takes Holmes all the way in, and that opens up the hole. They keep banging away, and they might have found something there, Jack.
1st and 10 now at the 34-yard line. Pittsburgh is leading 7-3. Oscar Reed wound up way back beyond the 40-yard line. Henry Davis, the middle linebacker, and Dwight White, the right end, combining on the stop, but his forward progress was stopped at the 32.
Tackle the ball!
8 completions in 14 attempts for Fran Tarkington. Ball now at the 32. It's second down and 8 yards to go. Reed in motion. Tarkington rolling back in the other direction out to the right side. His peg is behind Marinaro, incomplete. Oh, it's going to be third down and 8. Second quarter, Washington 14, Green Bay 3.
And that score was a 25-yard pass from Kilmer to Jerry Smith.
Little less than 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. 7-3, Pittsburgh out in front. 3rd and 8 facing Fran Tarkington. The ball is 32 yards away from the Pittsburgh goal line. Tarkington straight back. Has the protection this time. Throws to Gilliam. He has to fight to hold it. And does hold it for a completion down around the 20 for a first down. That was John Rouser, the cornerback, wrestling him for it.
From the end zone, pretty good rush again. I believe the ball was tipped. Let's look and see if it was. Right there. There you saw 63 Ernie Holmes tip the ball, and it actually helped the reception.
First down at the 20-yard line. It's Oscar Reed in motion left. Rolling right is Fran Tarkenton. And he kind of shovels the pass to Ed Marinaro, and Marinaro is run out of bounds at around the 13-yard line by linebacker Jack Ham.
Watch Tarkenton how quickly he gets to the outside. He could have run the ball, but he decides to dump the ball off to Marinaro. He likes those short passes.
Good view of that developing action from the end zone camera. Greg Henneman has replaced L.C. Greenwood at defensive end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second down, a shade better than 3 yards to go. Marinaro on the sweep. He's around the corner, inside the 10, down to the 5 before he's finally hauled down. It'll be first and goal to go for Minnesota.
From the end zone again, watch Milt Sunday get to the outside. They blocked to Hanneman. Number 67 just came in the game. Good call by Tarkenton. There's the block by Ed White.
The series started back on Minnesota's 22-yard line. They are running their 14th play right now in this series, and it's first and goal to go from the 5. Marinaro trying the middle, and boy, the middle closed up. Henry Davis and Jack Ham, the linebackers, pinching in, closing the gap. He picked up a yard to the 4.
The regular defensive left end, L.C. Greenwood, number 68, back in there.
Bill Brown has come in, but it is Tarkenton rolling to the right, in trouble. Green is after him. Incomplete, intended for John Henderson. Broken up by Ralph Anderson. And it'll be third and goal to go. L.C. Greenwood was putting the pressure on Fran Tarkenton on the goal line stand. Third down and goal to go from 4 yards away. The score is 7-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers in front of the Minnesota Vikings. A little better than 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Bill Brown, Ed Marinaro, the running backs. Tarkenton fakes, flips one out to Marinaro. Marinaro in trouble and dropped. Left for a loss of 2 yards. And it'll be fourth and goal from the 6.
From the end zone, watch the faking here. Fakes it to Brown, throws out to Marinaro, but Jack Ham, second-year linebacker, there he is, makes a great block for a tackle. He's a second-year man, rated very highly. He's from Penn State.
So the Vikings will attempt to settle for 3 points. Red Cox in to do the kicking. And it is a knock snap from center. The Steelers recover, and they will take it in the area of their 11 or 12-yard line.
Here's the slow motion. Bad snap or a bad hold there by Paul Krause, 22. He can't hang on to the football. Don't see that very often, Jack.
So, with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota.
This leading replacement battery has a thick rubber case. The rubber isn't power. It's dead weight. Ford builds the Motorcraft Long Life Premium battery with tough, thin polypropylene. It costs more, but you get more inside. More plates, more starting power, more reserve power. But which do you want? More case outside or 12 more pounds for power inside? Motorcraft from Ford. Helps keep you off the hook.
Okay, that's quitting time. Let's go get a beer.
Settle down now and gather round now. Miller time is here if you've got the time. We've got the beer, Miller beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer, Miller beer. Oh yeah, you've got the time.
Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers take it on their own 11-yard line after a muff attempt to tee up the football for a field goal try gives the ball to the Steelers. They still lead 7-3 over Minnesota. Franco Harris looking for room, breaks 2 tackles, a third, and finally is rolled out of bounds by Wally Hilgenberg. Man, that's power running, George. Got that ball out to around the 18-yard line.
And that's why Franco Harris, a rookie from Penn State, is very high in the running for Rookie of the Year honors. Averaging 6.3 yards per carry going into today's game.
And the defensive struggle that has characterized this game, he has thus far a relatively modest total of 31 yards on 5 carries, but that's just about at his average of 6.3 yards per carries, which leads the entire league on running average. The pitch out to John Fuqua is cut back, and he gets out over the 25-yard line for a first down with plenty of change. Gary Larson, the tackle.
This is just a quick pitch with the flanker back, Ron Shanklin, coming in there. Fuqua gets to the outside very quickly. With him there, number 72, Jerry Mullins. Makes a fine cutback there for good yardage and a first down.
First and 10 now at the 26 for the Steelers. Fake to Harris, bootleg back. Now Bradshaw hunting for a target, throws long and into a crowd. It's picked off by Charlie West. Minnesota has the ball on the interception. John McMakin was the target. Minnesota first and 10 now, and they've got the ball at the 50-yard line.
Good play action there. He's got all the time in the world. He's trying to hit John McMakin, and I question that throw. Look at all those white jerseys back there. Bradshaw threw into a crowd there, and West intercepted.
So with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
Skipjacks. That's what we call these boats here in Tillman, Maryland. They're used for dredging oysters. This baby's mine. It's the oldest one around these parts, built 1891. You know who helped me get it? Full Service Bank. They loaned me money to buy it so I could go into business for myself. And pretty soon business was so good that the bank offered me another loan to buy that crabber. Then they helped me pay for special insurance on both boats and showed me a way to handle my money I never would have thought of. That bank really stuck with me. Hey, there's my banker now. Hey, Johnny.
Hi, Bart.
His bank may look small, but it sure does things in a big way. I guess that's why they call it. Hey, sit down. Hey, sit down. I haven't seen you for about a week. A full-service bank.
All across the country, in 14,000 different banks, helping is our business.
Well, the fortunes of this game are flying back and forth. Now on the Charlie West interception, Minnesota has the ball at midfield. Pittsburgh is leading 7-3. At a little less than 2 minutes to play before the end of the first half. Targeting back to throw. Green after him. He flips one over the middle to Ed Marinaro. Marinaro is grounded at the 43-yard line by L.C. Greenwood. And it will be second down and about 3 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings. This shot into the line by Oscar Reed is right along the line of scrimmage. Joe Green was in on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 3, no gain on the play. Oh, well, there's a timeout down there. It gives me a chance to say this week the new CBS Tuesday night movies features an intriguing drama of a rather eccentric young man who's bent on cleaning up a polluted river by sabotaging the chemical plant where he works. Tony Perkins, Tuesday Weld are the stars, and they pretty much twist into each other's lives in Pretty Poison. That's the CBS Tuesday night movie at 9:30, 8:30 Central Time.
The Vikings have taken a timeout. They have 2 remaining. And Tarkington, Jack, we saw, as you see him over there talking to Bud Grant and Jerry Burns, we saw Tarkington take them the length of the field, the Vikings, against Denver earlier this year in 36 seconds. So he can do it, but he's faced with a 3rd and short yardage. He's got to get the first down first.
So it's 3rd down. About 3 yards to go.
Tarkington likes to throw to his backs. He's been throwing to them all day long.
Aaron Arrow's caught 7 passes thus far in this game. Tarkington 12 out of 20 so far in his total passing attempts versus completions. Rolling out to the right, he whistles one, and that winds up in the crowd. The crowd, composed of Mike Wagner, who was fighting John Beasley, the tight end, for possession of the ball.
A little half rollout once again. Looked like Oscar Reed was open, but he went downfield to one of his favorite targets, Beasley, and Mike Wagner made a good block.
Oh, Mike Eyeshide has come on to punt for the Minnesota Vikings. 1 minute and 21 seconds remaining in the first half. We've got Mike Wagner going deep. Time is called now by Minnesota. That uses up another one. They have 1 remaining in the 121 that remains in this ball game. And now Wagner, who was back deep, is coming over near the sidelines, getting a little advice from the bench. Meantime, across the field, there's a look at the Minnesota Vikings bench, and in the dark jacket on the sidelines, Minnesota coach Bud Grant. Now they've changed their mind, taken Eyeshide out. That was the reason for the timeout, and a 50-yard attempt is going to be tried by Fred Cox. A 50-yard field goal attempt.
No good.
No good. Touchback in the end zone. And the Steelers will take over 1st and 10 on the 20. Second quarter. Score now at 7-3 with 1 minute and 14 remaining in that second quarter. The Steelers out in front.
And to the Steeler fans, that all-important game, Buffalo versus Cleveland, Mike Phipps has just scored, thrown a pass, 13 yards for a TD, and it's now 10-10.
Bradshaw at his own 20-yard line. Bradshaw on a quarterback sneak surprises the Minnesota Vikings and almost gets a first down. Knocked it out there just short of the 30. Roy Winstone, the linebacker, making the tackle.
You can see the wide gap in the defensive tackles. Number 50, Jim Clack, opens up the hole. You can bet your bottom dollar that Chuck Knoll on the sidelines, before he set Bradshaw in, said, don't put that ball up in the air.
Clock is running. There's the time ticking off on the Mammoth scoreboard. Bradshaw gives to Fuqua. Fuqua around the corner, and he gets across the 35 to be grounded at the 36-yard line. Steelers, remember, are leading in this game 7-3 as we near the end of the half. Jeff Seaman middle linebacker, and Charlie West, the cornerback, combining on the stop. First down. 1st and 10 at the 36 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Steelers have used a timeout here. They have 2 remaining versus 1 for the Vikings. The 1 for the Vikings academic now as we get into close to the final half minute of this ball game. And the Steelers crowding up now along the sidelines. And Shanklin coming out wide to the right. Frank Lewis wide to the left. Harris, Fuqua, the running backs. 1st and 10. They're at their own 36. Franco Harris had to stop. Can't quite get it going yet. And Charlie West bulldozes him out of bounds. Number 40. That'll stop the clock with 26 seconds left. Boy, when they show you the seconds remaining, when it gets down to the final countdown, they really do it here at Three Rivers Stadium, George.
They sure do.
They leave the little clock indicator and go over to the big board, and there it is, 26 seconds remaining in the half.
Great defensive play that time by the left linebacker, Roy Winston. He read run all the way and came in and piled up that interference and got the ball carrier, too.
4-yard loss. It's 2nd down and 14 yards to go for the Steelers. And Bradshaw's going to throw one now. There's his peg. Ron Shanklin has it. He is across the 40. That's enough for a first down. And now the Steelers come up from that pileup, signaling timeout.
There's that pass over the middle to Shanklin. He's going for that first down yardage, and he has it. Well, he doesn't have it. It's 3rd down now. He got good yardage.
Oh, that's right. Looking at the wrong yardstick there. It was 2nd and 14, and they moved it out now to the 41, which will make it 3rd down and about 5. 3rd and 5. That's the first pass caught by Ron Shanklin, who came into this game as their leading pass receiver. He had 32 catches coming into this game, so that gives him a total on the year of 33. 3 for 10 are the totals on Terry Bradshaw. Completions versus attempts. Bradshaw looking long, and Shanklin is the target again, and he was out of bounds. Both feet were not in bounds. Stops the clock with 11 seconds remaining.
Good protection by the Steeler offensive line here, and let's see if he's got his feet in or out. There's one foot in, and the other one was out. Once again, the officials are right, Jack.
Oh, Bob Alden punting now. An attempt to block. The ball is allowed to roll by Bryant, and it's not going to make it into the end zone. First touching by the Steelers was around the 6-yard line, and now coming down there, an attempt to pick up that ball and run it by Wally Hilgenberg, which was a very smart maneuver had he gotten away from it. Once Pittsburgh touched that ball, it was technically a kicking violation, and he could pick it up and run without worrying about fumbling, but he didn't make it, and as the argument persisted, time ran out, and the first half has come to an end. Oh, the teams head up the field now into the dressing room to figure out what they can do in the second half. That's the end of the first half with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota 3.
When you give somebody a camera, remember, the real fun isn't the camera, it's the pictures. And pictures of a good time aren't any fun until you see them. But pictures like this make the good time itself even better. And that's why Polaroid calls this the good time camera. It's only $24.95, strictly color, and it uses Polaroid's less expensive square film, so you can take enough pictures for everybody. That's another reason we call it the good time camera. You have some money left to have a good time.
This is a main bearing job, about $200. And this is a Fram oil filter. It's about $4. If the guy who owns this car had put $4 into one of these when he had his oil change, chances are he wouldn't be putting $200 into one of these. Well, choice is yours. You can pay me now or pay me later.
Rookie from Penn State ran 12 yards around his right end to score, and it's 7-3. Pittsburgh leading at halftime. At the end of the half, right with moments to go, the Vikings tried a field goal. Pittsburgh leads, and they've had good defense, but they haven't been able to move the ball. They only have 84 yards total offense.
Steve Davis, Preston Pearson are deep as the kickoff is underway, and this is Steve Davis with the ball back to the 15 and to the 19-yard line, and that's where it's stopped by Jeff Wright. So the Steelers have it 1st and 10 at their own 19 as we begin the second half.
There are the stats here. You look at the total yardage, 140 for Minnesota, 84 for Pittsburgh. Rushing, 54 for Minnesota, 62 for Pittsburgh. Passing, only 22 for Pittsburgh, 3 for 11. But Tarkington is 12 for 22, but only 86 yards. They've been of the short variety.
First down now. Franco Harris taking the handoff. Wally Hilgenberg bouncing off the block to come in and stop the play with some help from Jeff Seaman.
Franco Harris taking an inside handoff, and he's following number 66, his offensive right guard, Bruce Van Dyke, thought to be one of the outstanding guards in the league. He's a 7-year veteran from Missouri. You don't hear too much about these guards, but remember that name, Bruce Van Dyke.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10. Franco Harris gets the call again. This time they get the corner man out, and Harris is able to go for a gain up across the 25. Middle linebacker Jeff Seaman there on the stop for Minnesota with help from Carl Eller, the left end. Ball just across the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and practically 4 yards to go for the Steelers. Pittsburgh 7-3 over the Minnesota Vikings here at the top of the second half. Lon Shanklin out wide to the right. Frank Lewis wide to the left. Bradshaw straight back. Penalty flag goes in. He fires for his tight end, John McMakin. The pass is incomplete, and it would look like a holding call against Pittsburgh. The guess would be on, yes it is, Sam Davis called for holding, the left guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's see if Minnesota will accept this penalty. I would doubt it, or it would give the Steelers yet another down. They're going to decline it because it runs the Steelers out of downs. Walden coming on to do the punting. And they'll have to kick it to Minnesota. Heading back are Bobby Bryant and Charlie West. And Bryant is switching with Charlie West now, and he is going to be the deep man on the punt return. A distance spiral. Bryant has to clear back to his 18-yard line to haul that one in. Gets it back up to the 28 or 9-yard line before he's hauled down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Minnesota at that point. Larry Brown coming down to make the tackle. Well, at the 28-yard line. A 57-yard punt booted off by Bob Walden. Ed Marinaro in motion as the Vikings get the ball for the first time in the second half. Oscar Reed on the run. Trying to get around the bend. Penalty flag comes in. Tackle made by the ever-present Jack Ham, the linebacker.
There you see the middle linebacker, 53, Henry Davis, moving out along with Green. Still talking the penalty over. I believe it will be offensive holding.
And that big number 87 you saw in filling your screen in the replay was the culprit. And there it is, the holding signal, and it puts the ball back at the 14-yard line. It'll still be first down, but now with 24 yards to go. Goes in motion out to the left. Tarkenton throws to him, drops the ball. Pass incomplete. Second down, 24 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings, back on their own 14-yard line. Second quarter, Baltimore leading the New England Patriots 7-0.
And that was on a 40-yard pass, Marty Domris to Haverlack.
Long time in the huddle, long count. He gets it off in time, hands off to Marinello. Trying a shot off tackle. He is nailed by Joe Green and gets across the 15 for a 2-yard gain to the 16-yard line. So now it's third and ultra long yardage. Third down and 22 yards to go for the Vikings, well in their own territory, not an area of the field where Tarkenton can afford any kind of a gamble. New Orleans is leading the Los Angeles Rams 7-3. That's in the second quarter.
And their young quarterback went in on a run, 5-yard run by Archie Manning.
Tarkenton back. Receivers covered. He's in trouble. He eludes the first rush, starts down the sidelines, and finally has to give up on the whole idea, going out of bounds at the 18-yard line, chased out by L.C. Greenwood. Oh, fourth down, deep in their own territory. They'll have to boot to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh has a great chance to get fine field position on this one. Glenn Edwards is dropping back as the deep man for the Pittsburgh Steelers as Mike Eyeshide falls back in punt formation. There's Edwards. Eyeshide gets a lot of leg into that one. Edwards has to give ground back to the 26. Now he returns up 30, 40, 45. Heavy going. Down he goes. Fumble. And the Vikings recover. That's in the 48-yard line in Pittsburgh territory. And it's Jeff Wright coming up with the loose ball. Big break for the Vikings. So with the score, Pittsburgh 7, Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
This is Dr. E.L. Gibson, Enterprise, Alabama, 83 years old, still practicing medicine. He drives a Ford Pinto, but that's not surprising. Doc Gibson started out in a rugged, reliable Ford car over half a century ago.
First car I owned was a Ford Model T, like that one there. Used it to make my house calls. That car took some licking, but it got me where I had to get.
It's that same kind of car we had in mind when we built today's Ford Pinto, to stand up to rough roads, to take the worry out of the mud. We built Ford Pinto to be a rugged, reliable, basic car, just like the one Doc Gibson started out with 60 years ago. When you get back to basics, you get back to Ford. Pinto for $73 at your Ford dealers.
Now the Vikings have the ball 48 yards away. A fumble recovery by Jeff Wright. Both wide receivers are set to the right side. Marinaro goes in motion to the right. Oscar Reed on the handoff, sliding off to the left side. Can't make much, but does get down to around the 43 where Mel Blount, the cornerback, came up to make the stop. That'll be a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5. If there's going to be a turning point in this game away from the Steelers' steady hold on the lead, it would be on that fumbled punt. For the Steelers were looking at great field position after holding the Vikings in check deep in their own territory. But now the break swings to the Vikings. They have it 2nd down and 5. Osborne has come in at running back, replacing Marinaro. And Osborne gets the handoff. He's into the middle of the line and fights his way down inside the 40, close to first down territory. Tackle made by middle linebacker Henry Davis and L.C. Greenwood, number 68, the left end.
From the end zone here, Joe Green over the center. He's blocked very well on that play. He's been in there all day. There's Henry Davis. Good driving action by Osborne. Sets up a short yardage situation, 3rd and about 1.
Gilliam going out wide to the right side. Tight end blocking along the line, just one wide receiver. 3rd down the yard to go. The call is to Oscar Reed. He's got the first down and then some as he fights his way down to just inside the 30-yard line before John Rouser, the cornerback, was able to bring him down.
Good blocking by Milt Sunday. Watch him pull. The right guard pulling. And Oscar Reed follows him through the hole there. Big gaping hole. Good block by Ed White.
Now the Vikings have it 30 yards away, 1st and 10. Cincinnati leading the Chicago Bears 7-0.
Carter to Essex Johnson, 26-yard pass. Virgil Carter, former Bear.
Second man through gets the ball. Osborne. His straight ahead punch takes him down to around the 27-yard line where the linebackers, Henry Davis and Jack Ham, combined to stop him. Pickup of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. John Henderson and John Gilliam, the wide receivers, both set to the left side. A reaching handoff to Osborne. Osborne fighting his way back just across the line of scrimmage, grounded at the 25 by John Rouser and Henry Davis. Only 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and about 5 yards to go. The score in this game is 7-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers in front. That was the halftime score. Got a little better than 8 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Third down, a little better than 5 to go. Oscar Reed in motion to the right. Tarkenton rolling left. And he lobs one to Osborne. Osborne has the first down, still going. He is out of bounds at the 13-yard line, shouldered out by Mel Blount, the cornerback.
That half rollout pass, here it is again. Pretty tough to cover. He sends his back out in front of him. Tarkenton, very dangerous on the run, just lobs it over to Osborne. He's been completing that all day. 7 of them in the first half to Marinaro. Good running by Osborne after he catches the ball.
Now they've got it 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Pittsburgh 7, Minnesota 3. Henderson wide to the right, Gilliam wide to the left. Osborne gets the call, runs into trouble. Henry Davis, the middle linebacker, was high, and Ernie Holmes was diving in underneath.
From the ground level, there's Mean Joe Green right on the head of the center, 75. Watch Henry Davis here. Been in on a lot of tackles all day. The Steeler defense has really been tough when they've had to.
Ball now at the 11-yard line, a gain of 2. It's 2nd down and 8. First back through Oscar Reed, moving out of the eye, and he's able to punch his way down to around the 7-yard line before he's all down.
From the end zone once again, 63 is Ernie Holmes. The Steelers have been very aggressive all day. They fill their holes well. They move with the play, and here comes Stu Voigt in. Now he's going out. And I don't believe you can do that, Jack. He's got to stay in for a play.
All right, it's third down. About 4 yards to go. Tarkenton rolling out to the right, looking into the end zone. There's his peg for Henderson. It was just deflected over there. Looked like the cornerback, John Rousey, number 48, got a finger on the ball. Actually covering the receiver was the linebacker, Jack Ham. We pause 5 seconds for station identification. So on 4th down from the 7-yard line, field goal attempt by Fred Cox. Paul Krause holding. He'll be trying it from 14 yards away. Score at the moment is 7-3. And Krause picks the ball up, rolls out, throws into the end zone. The pass is incomplete. Penalty flag is down. That was John Ward galloping over there. Now, if he was in at a tight end, he is ordinarily a tackle. He'd been all right if he announced himself as such. But you cannot make a tackle eligible just by putting him on the end of the line.
Just last week, the Pittsburgh Steelers scored. Jerry Mullins was in at tight end. He announced himself.
Krause having trouble.
There's the fake field goal. I believe that was intentional, Jack. It was a pass all the way. There you see 72. John Ward down there coming across. Can't handle the ball.
And that is the call. So with the score, Pittsburgh 7 and Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
When Teresa Elak's home caught fire, she was covered by Fireman's Fund Homeowners Insurance.
Lady playing games of children.
When Gary Palmer's plant was broken into, he was covered by Fireman's Fund Business Insurance. When Carol Wood's car was wrecked, our auto insurance covered her. In fact, this hat covers people for just about every business or personal insurance need. And if it didn't, they wouldn't be laughing now. Fireman's Fund American in the yellow pages.
When you live by the watch, every minute counts. I know, I'm Pat Summerall. In my line of work, you try to save time, even when you shave. So today, I use the Sunbeam Shave Master Shaver. Watch. It's got a handle that's all business. A unique shaving system that shaves whiskers with 6 carbon steel blades for a really close shave, and a trimmer for sideburns. The Sunbeam Shave Master Shaver. Clean, smooth, fast. Repeat, fast. I don't have time for anything else.
Well, another drive by the Vikings falls short of its mark as Minnesota continues to pile up the statistics. But Pittsburgh has the lead, 7-3. 4th down pass, incomplete as it was in the end zone, has brought the ball out to the 20-yard line. Franco Davis blasting into the middle is taking it out to the 25. Carl Eller making the stop.
From our ground level again, rookie Franco Harris. There you see the trap play with 57 coming around the left guard. Sam Davis. Franco Harris is a power runner, 6'2", 230 pounds.
Pitch out to Franco Harris this time. Around the corner, picks up a block. As a matter of fact, waited very nicely for that block and then charged ahead when it was executed and went for the first down. Roy Winston coming in to make the tackle. Third quarter, Cleveland 17-10 over Buffalo. They are tied with these Steelers in the AFC Central.
And they scored. Cleveland scored on a 1-yard run by Ken Brown.
First down now for the Pittsburgh Steelers at their own 34. John Fuqua takes this handoff. And he's able to get close to the 40-yard line. Jim Marshall was in on the stop. At 72 was Jerry Mullins leading the play. Ball at the 39-yard line. It'll be second down and 5 yards to go. Minnesota trailing. It's Pittsburgh 7-3 over the Vikings. 4.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Franklin out wide to the right. Lewis out wide to the left. Bradshaw, quick pass out to Ron Shanklin in the right flat. He's at the 40, the 45. This could go. He's at the 30, and Bobby Bryant comes over across the field to block him out of bounds. Bob Bryant, the right quarterback, ranged the width of the field to catch up with the speeding Ron Shanklin, block him out of bounds at the 18-yard line. 43 yards on the play.
And Shanklin can really run with that ball after he gets it.
First down. Pitch out. Fuqua with the ball, but cannot get his footing. It is not raining now, but it's been raining through the game, and that carpet has gotten a bit slippery. Drop down for a loss back around the 22-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4, and it'll be second down and 14. Shanklin wide right, Lewis wide left. Second down, 14 yards to go for the Steelers. And on a delay, they give it to John Fuqua. And Fuqua punching through, gets it back to around the 17, 18-yard line. Alan Page in on the tackle for Minnesota.
We'll watch it in slow motion. There's a delayed draw. Goes off the weak side. Franklin does it on his own. This Steeler offense, headed by Chuck Knoll, fourth year as head coach, doesn't try to fool anybody. They get their backs down, they set, they don't move, and they just tell you the formation they're going to be in.
Third and long yardage. Bradley rifles one to his tight end. John McMakin makes the catch just inside the 10-yard line. That is short of a first down by about a yard.
Look at it in slow motion. Number 89 on the bottom of your screen is the tight end, John McMakin. Terry Bradshaw really fires this ball in there. Paul Krause was behind him, but not close enough to stop it.
With a lead of 7-3, the Steelers have sent in Roy Girella, their field goal kicker. Bob Walden, the punter, is doing the holding. Field goal attempted from 17 yards. He has got it. Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers have moved out in front now 10-3, and we'll be back with the Pittsburgh kickoff in just a moment.
You may never come face to face with an avalanche, but if you drive in winter, then you're the reason Firestone makes the all-position town and country, the People Tire for winter. With 3 separate tread sections built into one tough winter tire. And there's room for 112 ice-gripping studs. This tire will not only give you good mileage and stability, it can pull you out of deep snow and stop you when you have to stop. These tires are designed for the front wheels as well as the rear wheels for even more control. Your Firestone dealer or store has the all-position town and country. The People Tire for winter. Almost nothing will stop it. Almost nothing.
Now Jarella tees up the ball at the 40-yard line to kick it off to the Minnesota Vikings. As we look from the end zone, he backs away. The deep men are John Gilliam and Bobby Bryant. Ball is given a ride to Gilliam over near the sidelines, and did it get out of bounds? No, it did not. It just cut inside the corner flag, and it will be 1st and 10 for Minnesota at their own 20. CBS has 2 outstanding bowl games on tap for you this year. In the Sun Bowl, North Carolina meets Texas Tech. That'll be Saturday, December 30th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Then on New Year's Day, Monday, January 1st, unbeaten Alabama races Texas in the Cotton Bowl at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Here we go with the Vikings now. Trailing 10-3, getting the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A quick punt over the middle. Taken over there by Stu Voigt, the tight end. His forward progress reached the 26-yard line when he was hauled in by John Rouser, the cornerback. 2nd down and 4. Gilliam coming out wide to the left. And belting through is Oscar Reed. He's able to get that ball out across the 30. That's enough for a 1st down. Mike Wagner on the tackle.
We'll look at it again. There goes Oscar Reed. Good hole up the middle. The Steeler defense is stubborn. They're not giving up big chunks of yardage.
First down now on their own 32-yard line for the Minnesota Vikings. Tarkinen fakes a quick pop, lets it go long, and Gilliam had overrun the ball. Couldn't get back to field the ball. Coming in on the rush was Dwight White. Covering on the pass was Mike Wagner. Oh, it's 2nd and 10. Washington 14, Green Bay 13.
And Green Bay has just scored on a MacArthur Lane 6-yard run. There's 12 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the 4th period. And what an important game this is for the Detroit and Minnesota fans listening in, Jack, that Washington-Green Bay game.
Now they've got Gilliam and Henderson both swung wide to the left on a 2nd and 10. Dave Osborne gets the nod. He goes into the middle of the line and runs into nothing but trouble in the person of Henry Davis, number 53, the middle linebacker. Got the ball up just beyond the 33-yard line. Gain of just about a yard. It'll be 3rd and a shade less than 9 yards to go.
And Pittsburgh has gone to their 5 deep backs. They've taken out the middle linebacker Davis and put in 27 Glenn Edwards.
Tarkinen throws. The pass is completed but short of a 1st down. Oscar Reed gathering in that ball and stopped immediately in the area of the 38-yard line by Jack Ham.
This is a straight 4-man rush. Jack Ham, middle linebacker, left linebacker is out there and is all over the receiver.
Oh, the Pittsburgh defense has done it again. Minnesota will have to boot the ball. Glenn Edwards is dropping back. He'll receive the punt for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The score is 10-3. Pittsburgh in front. And the Minnesota Vikings are going to take a timeout. Mike Eyeshide, the punters come in, and he's walked up now for a word with referee Fred Swearingen. There's the deep man, Glenn Edwards. Now, it was his fumble on a punt return that looked like it was giving Minnesota their golden opportunity earlier in this 2nd half. But the Steelers' defense rose to the occasion. Now they've come on to add another field goal to move their margin out to 10-3 over Minnesota as Eyeshide weaves into the kick. Lifts one high in the air. Edwards backs away. He's going to let it bounce. It takes a Minnesota roll down inside the 20 and is coming to a halt at the sideline at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. at the 15 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the gun is sounded. 3 periods have gone by. That's the end of the third quarter with the score, Pittsburgh 10, Minnesota 3. We now pause for station identification. This is CBS.
I'm Willie Lanier of the Kansas City Chiefs. Every player hopes that someday he'll be part of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I know I do. But there's something here for everyone, young and old, male and female. The enshrinement area, great movies, treasured relics of the past. Why don't you plan a visit next time you're in the area? The Pro Football Hall of Fame is located in Canton, Ohio, right off Interstate 77. 77. Wasn't that Red Grange's number?
The National Football League. Now Pittsburgh has the ball first down on their own 15-yard line. Franco Harris, the ball carrier. And he can't make it around the bend. Coming up in a hurry was Jeff Wright, number 23, safety man. And he grounded him with a pickup of about a yard. Put it out at the 16-yard line where it'll be second down and 9. Been a defensive struggle between these teams, and they both have shown creditable defenses. Franco Harris has been ripping the league apart, has 49 yards in 11 carries. He's coming off 4 consecutive games in which he ran for better than 100 yards. Second down, 9 yards to go. Terry Bradshaw gives to John Fuqua, and Fuqua is upended as he comes around the bend, and he gets it out to around the 19-yard line. Tackler was Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker. Well, it's a pickup of 3 more, and it'll be third down and 6 yards to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we're looking into some of the covered box seats as the fans view the game and like it so far here in Pittsburgh. 10-3 is the score. The Steelers in front of the Vikings. Bradshaw back to throw on 3rd and long. He hangs one out in the middle, and it's almost grabbed by Paul Krause. Pass is incomplete. The target on it was wide receiver Frank Lewis. Paul Krause knifing in there and coming low for the ball, couldn't hold it. 4th down, and Pittsburgh will have to punt. Bob Walden coming on the field for the Steelers to do the kicking. Bobby Bryant going deep, and John Gilliam is in on punt returns. Haven't had any report on Charlie West, but he has not been in the action on punt and kickoff returns, and usually is. Bryant calls for a fair catch, and the Vikings take over on their own 40-yard line. So with the score, Pittsburgh 10 and Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
This man has just finished shaving with the Remington Mark III. Now he's trying a second shave with the Schick Flexomatic. Will it get any more beard? Look, the Flexomatic gets the stubble Remington left behind. Reverse the order, and Remington can't match this amount. Tests prove the Schick Flexomatic shaves closer than Remington, or Norelco's leading sellers. Closer because the head is super thin. Comfortable because it's soft. Get the Schick Flexomatic.
That's some shave. This is the newest copier in the IBM line. Aside from sharp, clear copies of ordinary jobs, this plain paper copier makes sharp, clear copies of books, sharp, clear copies of oversized documents, even sharp, clear copies of photographs. And it lets you make them fast. The more you want from a copier, the more we think you'll appreciate this one. The new Copier 2 from IBM.
Jack Drees with George Connor as we are now showing 13 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. The Vikings taking the ball on their own 41. And I think it's safe to say that this is a series on which the Vikings pretty much have to score. That's Osborne in motion out to the left. Oscar Reed taking the handoff and trying to spin his way clear. He can't get out of the grasp of middle linebacker Henry Davis, and he is stopped at the 42, a 1-yard gain.
From the end zone here with the man in motion going to the right, Reed goes to the left. Good Steeler defense once again. Number 53 has been in there all day, Henry Davis. They've had good pursuit. The Vikings, Jack, have moved the ball well all day, but when they get down near the goal line in the first period, the Steelers held them on 4th and short yardage. They missed a snap from center and a field goal, and then a fake field goal didn't work. So they've had their opportunities.
Osborne going wide to the left. Tarkenton rolling right. And he flips one out to Oscar Reed, is at the 45, and then out of bounds at the 47-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 4. Jack Ham, the linebacker, was over to get him out of bounds. Fourth quarter. Look at this. The New York Giants 55-10 over Philadelphia.
Boy, they're really giving it to poor old Philly. Randy Johnson, second quarterback, to Don Herman, a pass.
Third down. About 4 yards to go. Minnesota has the ball short of their own 47-yard line. Oscar Reed goes in motion right. Both wide receivers set to the left. That's where Tarkenton is rolling. Around the bend and just barely behind the line of scrimmage. He lofts one to Gilliam. Almost intercepted. And the pass is incomplete. That was Mike Wagner, number 23, who almost got that ball.
Tarkenton rolling once again. He's wide open out here. He must be under instructions not to run. He only had 5 yards. See the opening he had. Throws it in a crowd, and Mike Wagner and Ralph Anderson are down there. It was intended for Gilliam, almost intercepted. And once again, Minnesota has to punt.
Glenn Edwards is deep. Mike Eyeshide kicking. Edwards going back. He's going to catch this one at the 6. And I'd have let that one go. Let's see how he makes out. He gets it back to the 11-yard line. That punt didn't have all that much height and quite probably would have gone into the end zone. However, there they have it. And with the score, Pittsburgh 10, Minnesota 3. Let's pause for a moment.
The Quasar Color TV System. Before you buy any color TV, remember this demonstration. You're seeing an actual closed-circuit picture on a Quasar Color TV. You get the Quasar TV picture tuning, plus plug-in modules, and works in a drawer TV design for ease of service. By Motorola, we think it's a better way to build color TV.
When man was first trying out his wings, Pabst Blue Ribbon beer was there. Blue Ribbon was brewed for men who really like beer. Pabst is the only beer in America with good old-time flavor because it's still brewed the old-time premium way. Original Pabst Blue Ribbon beer, brewed by the first of the great Milwaukee brewers.
Now the Steelers are on their own 11. First down. Franco Harris gets the call. Comes into the middle of the line. Able to get that ball out to around the 18-yard line before he's hauled down. That's pickup of 7. Gary Larson making the tackle.
Well, that's that offensive right guard, Bruce Van Dyke. If you can see him there, he pulls. He got through there, put a nice trap block on Alan Page.
Second down and about 3 yards to go. And a deep pitch to Franco Harris. And he's got the first down. Franco Harris around the corner, gets that ball up almost to the 24-yard line. John McMakin, a tight end, making a fine block. And it's 21-13 now. Washington over the Green Bay Packers.
5-yard pass from Billy Kilmer to Charlie Johnson. Charlie Taylor. 6 minutes left in this game. If Washington wins, then Detroit will be tied for first place, and Minnesota could be too if they win. Otherwise, they drop a game behind.
Bradshaw pitches out to John Fuqua. He gets out of one grasp, but can't elude Hilgenberg. Jim Marshall had that first shot at him. He was number 70, who became a member of the backfield for a few strides. Here is Cleveland, tied with these Pittsburgh Steelers for the Central Division AFC lead, 24-10 over Buffalo.
And they scored. Dick Roman scored on a 37-yard interception.
Some discussion going on with Jim Marshall down there.
While we wait for this discussion down there, Jack, these pitch outs, Bradshaw is pitching out to Fuqua and to Franco Harris. They're really dangerous. The quarterback has to have enough speed by on the ball, and the halfback has to catch it about hip high.
And it is a clipping call charged against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Puts the ball back at the 12-yard line. It's still first down, but now with 22 yards to go. Bradshaw throws, and just as he was making the catch, Frank Lewis fell away and under the ball.
Jack, it appeared with the glasses here that there was a little raised portion of that tartan turf, and he hit it with his foot and just went down. Nobody around him.
They're tearing up the rug in the stadium, George. In that kind of a game, this has been some defensive struggle. Second down now and 22 yards to go. Bradshaw gives it on a deep end around to his wide receiver, Frank Lewis. And Lewis is out to the 20, tears loose from a tackle. Cannot make the first down, but he's out of bounds, improving field position considerably up at the 28-yard line. Jeff Wright finally got him out of bounds. They've got to get to the 34 for a first down.
Bob Lertzema is in there at defensive left end. He had a shot at him back there, but missed him. Pretty tough for a big man like Lertzema to catch a mobile, fast wingback like Frank Lewis.
Lewis is taken out for a breather now, and Al Young is in at the wide receiver. He's coming wide to the left. Where's number 31? Third down, 4 yards, third down, and about 6 yards to go. Bradshaw back to throw, and hit. Blindsided and down.
Lertzema was a little mad at himself for missing that last tackle, and he really poured over Jerry Mullins. There you see number 75 out there at left end, Bob Lertzema.
Oh, it'll force the Steelers to punt. And New Orleans holding on to a squeaky lead over Los Angeles. That ball game is at 7-6.
And Los Angeles has scored on a 31-yard field goal by David Ray.
Fourth down now and 14 yards to go. Bob Walden to do the punting. Bobby Bryant is deep for Minnesota. Walden hangs a beauty high in the air, and it's taken by Bryant at his own 28. He's across the 30, but he is outnumbered, and they drop him in the area of the 33-yard line. That was John McMakin, tight end, and in on the special team, coming down to make the stop.
Good punt by Walden. Watch this coverage here. John McMakin, 89, coming in there underneath, causing him to trip, and good coverage by his teammates.
Gives Minnesota first down on their own 32. They've got a little better than 10 minutes left to play in the game, and it's 10-3 in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tarkenton going for the sideline, and Gilliam steals the ball away from the defender. Got a blocker in front of him, and he can't quite make it to the end zone. Mike Wagner was fighting off the blocker, and Ralph Anderson was number 49 coming up to get him from behind and stop him at the 5.
Tarkenton faking the play action again. Looking left, throwing right. Lays that ball up there for Gilliam. And it looks like Rouser might have an interception there, but Gilliam wanted the ball a little more. And he's got it. Turns on the speed down the sidelines. Pointing out to his blocker, John Henderson. Finally brought down at about the 6-yard line.
A gain of 63 yards on that thrust. First and goal to go. Osborne and Reed are the running backs. Tarkenton's going to the air. There's his flip to his tight end, Stu Voigt, who was virtually unmolested. The only one close to him was tackle Joe Green as he galloped into the end zone for the touchdown.
Tarkenton finally decided he can't run it over. Fakes to the left. Now Stu Voigt was lined up at left end. He pulled an end around, and then Tarkenton threw to him. Quite a tricky play for first and goal on the 6-yard line.
Now the Vikings are suddenly very much back in this ball game after they had experienced an afternoon of frustration. Here's the try for point by Fred Cox, and that kick is good. Now the score is knotted at Pittsburgh 10 and Minnesota 10, and we'll be back with the Vikings kickoff in just a moment.
Jaguar XJ6 sedan, a truly well-made luxury car for around $9,000.
The new 1973 Ford LTD Brougham, a truly quiet luxury car priced thousands less. Quiet is the sound of a well-made car.
The Jaguar's a bit more powerful, of course.
Well, you'd expect that for the money.
Four-wheel power disc brakes, cut pile carpeting.
The LTD, front power disc brakes, cut pile carpeting too.
Power steering, automatic transmission.
Standard here too.
Power window option.
In LTD too, plus a power mini vent.
You can have a reclining seat in the LTD. Now I'm sure your 5-passenger Jaguar is worth its price.
Yet LTD offers the same kind of luxury features for thousands less. And it seats 6.
Ford LTD, where quiet is the sound of a well-made car. See it. Drive it at your Ford dealers now.
Now Fred Cox has it teed up on the 40. Steve Davis, number 35. Preston Pearson, number 26, the deep men. Ball game now a tie at 10 and 10. Kickoff on its way. A little better than 9 minutes left in the game. Pearson with the ball. 25. Nailed as he crosses the 30. Hit the ground at about the 32. First and 10 for the Steelers at that point. Calvin Demery making the stop.
There's Preston Pearson coming up the middle. Watch him slide. You can see the wetness of the tartan turf here, although it stopped raining.
Oh, look at this. The Giants have just set an all-time club scoring record with 62 points. Bradshaw back to throw. Loops one out to Franco Harris. Harris tries to put a juke on linebacker Roy Winston, but Winston, a sure tackler, got him down as he reached around the 33-yard line, a gain of only a yard. The all-time single team scoring high was against the New York Giants. That goes back to 1966 when the Washington Redskins racked up 42 or 72 points against the Giants. Second down now. About a yard to go, and Franco Harris storming into the middle gets it up to around the 38-yard line. 38 it is, and that'll be 3rd and 4. Bob Lurtzema making the stop for the Minnesota Vikings. Third down, 4 yards to go. Ball game tied at 10 to 10. Bradshaw on a draw, gives to Franco Harris. Harris gets loose, first down, and there he goes. 35, 30, stop inside the 1-yard line. Bob Bryant and Paul Krause just did thwart a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Here it is on 3rd and short yardage. Watch the draw. It's covered up the middle. Gary Larson after him. He gets to the outside with good speed. There's a key block there on Nate Wright, 43. And it's not a foot race. Jeff Seaman does not have enough speed. 6'2", 230-pound Franco Harris, finally caught by Bobby Bryant.
What a run. Woo. 61 yards. First and goal to go. Quarterback sneak. Bradshaw is over. Touchdown for Terry Bradshaw.
Again, up over the top. The ball has to pass the plane over the goal line, and it did.
Now the try for the extra point. Well, his kick is blocked. Looked like Jeff Seaman, number 50, got in and nailed that. Let's check it on the replay.
There's Gorilla. There's a big hand up there. It's Jeff Seaman, number 50. There you can see him with his right hand in the air.
Now with that 61-yard gallop that set up that touchdown, Franco Harris now has 126 yards and 15 carries, his 5th consecutive 100-yard rushing game. He had been held pretty well in check by the Minnesota Vikings until that explosion. And now it's 16-10. And Pittsburgh will be kicking off to Minnesota. Gilliam and Bobby Bryant. And the kick is really roaring. I'll tell you, that got a little adrenaline flowing in the leg of Mr. Girella. Next Sunday, CBS will bring you an NFL doubleheader with the Dallas Cowboys meeting the St. Louis Cardinals in the second game. Now, preceding that, 5 games will be broadcast regionally. New York Giants at Cincinnati, Chicago at Minnesota, Detroit at Green Bay, Washington at Philadelphia, New Orleans at the New York Jets. So check your local listings for the game or games in your area. Here is Osborne trying it around the corner, caught from behind and dropped by Jack Ham, number 59, second-year man, and turning into an all-star linebacker.
From the end zone, Dave Osborne taking the handoff. Watch this Jack Ham, second-year man, coming in behind Ed White. And what a game he's played defensively. Second-year man from Penn State.
Second down and 13 yards to go now. Driving it back to wing one. On its way for Henderson, and it is broken up and incomplete. Hal Blunt, the cornerback, swarming in there to bet that ball to the ground. Third down and 13 yards to go.
Once again from the end zone, Tarkenton is not trying to pump fake. His receivers are covered. I think it's throwing his timing off. Now that could have been intercepted. It bounced off the chest of John Henderson, and he almost got it there. Big down for the Vikings. Third long yardage.
A little better than 6.5 minutes to play in the game. Oh, does Tarkenton need this one? He's in trouble, and they've got it. That was Dwight White, number 78, defensive end, coming in to get Tarkenton and drop him back at the 7-yard line. Fourth down at their own 7. Minutes and 25 seconds. The clock is running. The Steelers lead 16-10. Mike Eyeshide deep at the reaches of his end zone, and it is Glenn Edwards awaiting the punt for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Barrels it well, and Edwards takes it on his own 45, 50, bounded to Minnesota 45, upended at the 40, and just inside the 40. Where it'll be first down for Pittsburgh at that point. Dave Osborne upending him. And the Steelers are in great field position once again. First and 10 on the 39-yard line. Franco Harris gets the call into the middle. Rolled down at the 36-yard line, a gain of 3. Jim Marshall making the tackle. 129 yards now and 16 carries for Franco Harris. But the big one, of course, was the one that put the lead touchdown on the board one play later, when he went 61 yards to the 1-yard line, from which Terry Bradshaw went over on the quarterback sneak. The extra point blocked has made the score in this game 16-10. Second down, 7 yards to go for the Steelers. Sam Davis, number 57. He moved out of his three-point stance, and it's going to cost the Steelers 5. It'll be 2nd and 12. Ball back now on the Minnesota 41. Don Shanklin out wide to the right. Frank Lewis wide left. John Fuqua. Franco Harris, the running backs. Quarterback sneak, and Bradshaw pops through the middle and got right at 5 yards. Alan Page, the right tackle, was wrestling him around. A little short. He's not quite at the 36-yard line.
From the end zone here, you can see the spacing there between the two tackles. The center fires out against the middle linebacker, Seaman, but the quickness of Alan Page was too much, and he caught Bradshaw after a couple of yards gain.
Well, it's third down now and a shade less than 8 yards to go. Bradshaw straight back, good protection. There's his target. Shanklin is open, and the ball bounced off the numbers. It may have been bothered a bit by Nate Wright, the cornerback, getting back in a hurry. He may have deflected it.
Good blocking here. Plenty of time. It looks like Shanklin is wide open, but watch 43, Nate Wright, come in from the left corner and get a hand on the ball. There it is right there. Gets his right hand on the ball. It appeared that Shanklin was wide open.
Now Roy Girello with a field goal attempt from 44 yards away. And it's kind of a low liner that skitters through the end zone for a touchback. It is no good. And it'll be Minnesota's ball, 1st and 10 on the 20. Now that blocked extra point still is there as a tantalizing morsel for the Minnesota Vikings. They have a chance to win if they can get a touchdown and an extra point. They have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. They're starting at their own 20. They have used up a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Oscar Reed on a long developing draw play that wound up in a cutback going back to the left, and the Steelers had plenty of time to watch it develop. Dwight White was number 78 and Ben McGee number 60 in there on the stop. Picked up 2 on the play, getting it out to the 22-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
They've got a rookie in there, Jack, Calvin Demery, number 27. Rookie from Arizona State. He's wide.
Gone wide to the left. Well, we also have Gilliam and Henderson in there, so they've got 3 wide receivers. Targeting throws and flips one out. That is completed to running back Ed Marinero, and he is grounded at the 28-yard line by Jack Ham.
The Steelers once again are giving the Vikings and Fran Tarkenton those short passes, and it comes up with a 3rd and 2.
Clock is running. We're getting near the 3-minute mark as remaining in the game. And Oscar Reed running for the 1st down, and I believe the Steelers stopped him short. They did.
From the end zone here, 3rd and short yardage in slow motion.
It's stopped short of a 1st down. It's 4th and 1.
Vikings are going to go for it.
Stu Boyd, the tight end, has come back in now, replacing one of the multitude of wide receivers that had been shoved into the fray. Marinaro and Reed, the running backs. Ed Marinaro gets the call, and he doesn't make it. He is caught and driven back. The Steelers have stopped him. Middle linebacker Henry Davis charging across, caught him head on and stopped him. And the Steelers take over on down.
Slow motion, watch 53 on the right of your screen. That's Henry Davis. There's the ball to Marinero. There's 53 coming up over the top. Henry Davis. And that's two great fourth down plays that the Steelers have made today, holding the Vikings.
Clock running and nearing the 2-minute mark. Bootleg with Terry Bradshaw carrying. He's around the corner, over near the sidelines, goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line, ushered out by Jeff Wright. Watching it in slow motion, here's Bradshaw now as he gets near the sidelines and on out of bounds. And the 2-minute warning. So with the score, Pittsburgh 16 and Minnesota 10. Let's pause for a moment.
When Firestone decorates for Christmas, they decorate with values, like this stylish Counselor bat scale. Christmas gift price just $2.99. And to turn your Christmas lights on and off automatically, there's a Westclock's 24-hour electric timer. Gift price only $4.99. To hear all your favorite Christmas carols, a Philco 10-transistor AM/FM swing-along radio. Gift price only $12.88, and you can charge them. These and more attractive gifts are at participating Firestone retailers now.
The 16-10 lead and 2 minutes to play. Bradshaw gives it to Franco Harris, and he's caught behind the line. It was dropped just short of the 22 by Gary Larson, hopping through the gap. Call it the 22-yard line, and it'll make it third down and 3 yards to go. Right after this game, we'll be going to CBS Control with Bruce Roberts and George Connor. We'll be talking to Franco Harris, who's just chalked up another 100-yard day as a runner, his 5th in a row and 6 out of his last 7. Bradshaw running it again and blocked out of bounds by Paul Krause. He crossed the sideline at the 17-yard line. That's enough for a first down. 1st and 10. Watching this again in slow motion from our end zone camera. Bootlegging the ball. Bradshaw getting around the bend with a good blocking wall in front of him. Krause finally bouncing through that screen of blockers is able to throw a block into Bradshaw and get him out of bounds, and a glum Bud Grant on the sidelines as he is looking now at what seems almost inevitable, a defeat for his Minnesota Vikings, but there's still 1:21 left in the game. Minnesota needs possession and no more Pittsburgh scoring. There's a quick flip. That's out to Frank Lewis. Lewis at the 10, at the 5, and he's in there. That about does it. Cold, the left tackle, was number 55, coming up with the key block that ushered Frank Lewis, the wide receiver, into the end zone from 17 yards out. Let's watch that one again. There's the pass to Frank Lewis, block number 1. Look at his same blocker belting away as Frank Kolb, the number 55 we mentioned about, really created a channel for Lewis to drift in. Now the try for the point. This time it is good. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers have moved in front by a 23-10 margin with 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining before this game has become history. The Steelers tied with Cleveland at the top of their AFC Central Division going into this game. And, of course, the Minnesota Vikings, in a can't-lose situation, are now in an impossible position awaiting a kickoff with 1:13 left. Green Bay, however, has lost today, which keeps the margin the same, 21-16. But with the games remaining dwindling down, a loss today is of severe damage to the Minnesota Viking cause. Gilliam and Bryant are deep for the Minnesota Vikings. Jarrella now ready to put it in the air. 1 minute and 13 seconds left to play in this game. And Jarrella drives another one through the goal line, through the end zone, on out of bounds, no return possible. and it's 1st and 10 on the 24, Minnesota. Here's Gilliam, who was back deep on that one, coming up now to join the huddle as a wide receiver. Marinaro and Reed, the running backs. Tarkenton cannot be thinking run now. He throws on the screen to Marinaro. First screen they've tried today. 30, 35, and Marinaro is down just across the 35-yard line by Mike Wagner. Down in bounds, so the clock is running. Down to 55 seconds and going. Remember, the Minnesota Vikings have used up a timeout. So they have 2 remaining. They've got the ball now at the 36, 1st down. Tarkenton back to throw once more over near the sidelines. Pegs it complete to Stu Boyd, his tight end. And Boyd is out of bounds to stop the clock at the 44-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 2 yards to go. That hauls the clock up short at 41 seconds left to play. The Pittsburgh Steelers 23-10 over the Minnesota Vikings. Tarkenton back, and he pegs a pass incomplete, intended for rookie Calvin Demery. Covering on the play, John Rouser, the cornerback, and it'll be 3rd and 2. .38 seconds left to play. Pittsburgh 23, Minnesota 10. Remember, stay tuned for Pro Football Report immediately following this game with Bruce Roberts and George Connor. Scores of all the action. There is an attempt at a screen to Oscar Reed, but he was a little deep for the screen and didn't have much in the way of blocking. He is shouldered out of bounds at the 47-yard line by Jack Ham with some help from Craig Hanneman. That's enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47, well, call it the 46-yard line. It's just barely across the 46. 32 seconds left to play. Back, 3-man rush. They're trying to cover everybody deep. Gilliam, however, closely covered by Ralph Anderson, makes the catch. Slides across the sideline at the 42-yard line. 1st down for Minnesota. 22 seconds remaining. And let's call it the 41, closer to that. Now time is called. 22 seconds left. Minnesota picking up another 1st down. 1st downs will be relatively easy to come by because the Steelers are dropping everybody back, guarding against the bomb from Fran Tarkenton, and quite content to let him pick up midfield yardage. That has now brought the ball to the Pittsburgh Steelers' 41-yard line. Tarkenton over to the sidelines, is returning now to the Minnesota huddle. Five defensive backs arrayed against the Minnesota Vikings. Tarkenton back. And the peg intended for Oscar Reed, incomplete. Almost picked off. Jack Ham, the linebacker, had it but couldn't hold it. And Ham may have been shaken up on the play. He's slow getting up and is limping off the field. Jack Ham limps to the sidelines. after almost intercepting that pass attempt for Oscar Reed. George Webster, great Michigan State linebacker, traded to Pittsburgh from Houston, has come on now to replace him. 2nd down and 10. 16 seconds left to play. Tarkenton throwing for pride now, and it bounces off the fingertips of Ed Marinero. Incomplete. Penalty flag is down. Webster was back covering on that one. Illegal motion charge to the Minnesota Vikings declined by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They want to get rid of these downs. Well, that's going to make it 3rd and 10. 12 seconds left to play. Jack Ham being assisted now along the sidelines back toward the dressing room and needing some help to walk. He is limping badly on that right leg. That would be a severe loss for this Pittsburgh team if he's not available in the ensuing weeks. Tarkenton throws for the sideline to Gilliam. He's got it, and Gilliam steps out of bounds at around the 31-yard line. That'll be short of a 1st down, maybe. Closer to the 32 than the 31 where he hit the sidelines. Seeing where it's spotted now. 8 seconds left to play. 4th down, about a foot to go. (23-10), the Steelers in front as the clock winds down. Tarkenton tries the bomb to Gilliam, broken up and intercepted. That went off the fingertips of Edwards to be caught by John Rouser. He's back to the 20, 25, and they haul him down at the 28 as the clock runs out, and the Steelers with an inspired defense and then a climactic run from their brilliant rookie Franco Harris of 61 yards to set up the clinching touchdown have defeated the Minnesota Vikings and put this game on ice 23-10. This was some rugged and demanding contest here today. And the Steelers hold their place level with Cleveland at the top of the AFC Central standings. For the Minnesota Vikings, this, despite a Green Bay loss, a crushing one to them. Well, they needed to pretty much win them all. They came into this game with a 4-game winning streak, including an explosive 45-41 victory over Los Angeles a week ago. And now, almost on cue, a torrent of rain opens up after a nearly rainless second half on Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. So the game is over as the rain comes down. And now we take you to Bruce Roberts in CBS Control for Pro Football Report.
Thank you very much, Jack, and welcome to the Pro Football Report. George Connor and I will be talking to the 2 Pittsburgh Steeler heroes, Franco Harris and Mean Joe Green, and get their reaction. It should be something to Pittsburgh's 23-10 win over the Minnesota Vikings here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh this afternoon. We'll take a look at all the scores. The big one, of course, the Giants-Philadelphia. In that game, the Giants broke the team all-time scoring mark. They scored 62 against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Browns rallied from a 10-point deficit, and they beat